Hey everyone, welcome back to Bleach Brave Souls, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the Bleach light novels Can't Fear Your Own World, written by Ryogo Narita and supervised by Kubo Tite himself. So, first of all guys, these novels, I think most of the community agrees that they are considered canon because Kubo himself is kind of giving direction towards Narita, even though Narita is actually writing it. Kubo has the final say on everything that has happened in that book. For many people, they do consider it to be part of the main story. Now, with that out of the way, there might be some spoilers in this video accidentally if I talk about the novels and what happens in them or about the characters. If you don't want to know anything about that, you might not want to watch this video, but I'll try to keep it to a minimum. So anyway, a couple of months ago, I think it was in September at the Tokyo Game Show, K-Lab announced that they would be making characters from the light novels Can't Fear Your Own World. And this is kind of a big deal, guys, because the only visual information we have about these characters is from a couple of sketches that Kubo himself has made. So K-Lab essentially is creating these characters from scratch. You know, they're going to have to design how the characters look, how they'll move, what their attacks will look like, what their special animations will look like, what their voices will sound like, everything from the ground up. And while Kubo is giving his seal of approval on all these different elements to these characters, it's basically never been done before for this game. Even with the manga characters, there was, quite a few chapters to base what the characters would look like in game. Voice actors already existed. So, I mean, there was a lot more material to draw upon for those characters. But with these light novel characters, none of that exists. So it's kind of a significant move for the franchise as a whole, not just the game. Because, I wouldn't compare it to being as big a deal as, a new anime returning. But, I mean, this is as close as you're going to get to seeing these light novel characters in an animated form. So, I mean, I'm very excited for it. I feel like people should be very excited for it if they're Bleach fans, and hopefully everyone watching is a Bleach fan. I'm excited for it, even though it's still maybe a few months away. They said the book characters would be coming out in 2019, and who knows, 2019, it could be at the beginning of 2019, the end of 2019, I don't know. I'm assuming it will be at the beginning of 2019 because that will coincide with the global anniversary. And as you know, during the global anniversary, we get a step-up summonings. They usually release a hype banner. Last year, it was the manga Kenpachi, manga Retsu, and manga Yachiru. So this year, I expect it to be the same. And I think that they are going to make, at least some of the book characters available at the beginning of 2019. Now, there's also going to be a story mode for this, for the light novels, which is also a big deal because there is no official English translation for these light novels. There are fan translations out on the internet that I have read, so I'm caught up to the story based on these fan translations. But this will be the first official translation of these light novels in any form in the Bleach Brave Souls game. So that's kind of a unique milestone as well. I don't think that's happened before for any other games. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, though, guys. If you want to know what happens in the light novels, and there is a lot of information that goes on in these light novels, guys, let me tell you, we find out a lot of information about, different characters, about, the Soul Society, about the noble families, about the Soul King, about what happened to the Quincy's, stuff like that. That is all in the light novel. And like I said before, a lot of people do consider it canon because Kubo is supervising the direction of the book's content. And, like I said, there's going to be a story mode in the game, and there's also a lot of material to cover, so this story mode is probably going to be pretty huge. I don't know how much they can abridge it or, adapt it, but, even if they adapt it, it should still be a significant amount of story mode, and you know what that means, guys? That's a significant amount of spirit orbs as well. So that's another bonus to it. But I do suggest when it comes out that you actually read the story because there is a lot of interesting stuff that goes on in there. And I'm not going to get into that now. Maybe I'll make a separate video talking about the actual story so you can watch those if you want. If you don't want to read it yourself, because it is kind of a lengthy read. I just binge read the whole thing, both the first and the second volume in one sitting, and I couldn't put it down, to be honest with you. Volume 3 will be coming out, and that's going to conclude the whole series. Yeah, I believe the release date for that is beginning of December, so we'll find out what happens then. But Volume 2, guys, it ends on the cliffhanger of Shinji releasing his Bankai. So we are definitely going to find out what Shinji's Bankai does in Volume 3. And who knows, maybe we'll find out Hisagi's Bankai as well. I don't know yet if that's going to happen, but it appears that it's being set up for Hisagi to be significantly involved in the final battle against the main antagonist. And speaking of the main antagonist, he is definitely going to be one of the characters that comes to Bleach Brave Souls. His name is Tokunada Tsuneyashiro, and he is the head of the Tsuneyashiro noble clan. And if you guys remember, there are 4 great noble houses in Soul Society. There's Kuchiki, there's the Shihoin house. Now there's the Tsuneyashiro house. I believe Shiba was one of them, but it had fallen. There used to be 5 great noble houses, but when the Shiba clan fell, it was reduced to 4 great noble houses. We still don't know the identity of the last great noble house unless I've forgotten it, but I don't think we do know it. So yeah, the main antagonist named Tokunada Tsuneyashiro, he will be a character in Bleach Brave Souls. And guys, this guy, man, this guy is unlike any other antagonist that has been in the Bleach universe. And I think that's mostly due to the fact that Narita is writing the story and not Kubo. But this antagonist, he is like truly evil. Whereas, you know, I wouldn't say Aizen was a truly evil villain. I wouldn't even call him a villain. Maybe he's more of an anti-hero. Even Yuwatch did a lot of bad things too, but he didn't take pleasure in seeing people suffer or causing them despair like this guy does. Tsuneyashiro, man, he just likes to see people suffer. He likes hurting people, which is not something that Aizen ever liked. And true, Yuwatch, he did, you know, kill his own subordinates, but it was never out of the joy of killing them, you know, like this guy. So it's a very different type of villain. He's very dislikable. He's instantly dislikable. But let's move on, guys, to his powers. When they bring him into the game, I'm not really too certain what his exact powers is because they haven't really been detailed yet. He is actually the character who killed Kaname's close friend, and that essentially sent Kaname on that path of betraying Soul Society and you know, joining up with Aizen and all that. So Tsuneyashiro is the one that killed his friend. He was never punished for it because, as we find out, the nobles are above the law in the Soul Society. You know, they can do stuff like that and not be punished. It's kind of similar to the way the nobles are in, if you read One Piece, the nobles in One Piece, they can do whatever they want as well. So Tsuneyashiro got away with murder, literally. Kaname, you know, he couldn't tolerate this. He joined with Aizen. But they did remove Tsuneyashiro from the Gotei 13. He was no longer a soldier. They took away his Zanpakuto. They confiscated his Zanpakuto. But it's revealed in the book that he has his family, his noble house, the Tsuneyashiro house, has a heirloom Zanpakuto, kind of similar to what Nanao had when she was involved in that battle with Lile Baro. The Tsuneyashiro clan also has an heirloom Zanpakuto, which he has been using in the light novels. And it doesn't show too much of what this Zanpakuto can do right now. From what they have shown, it apparently has the ability to reflect any attacks that come against him. They compared it to Jushiro's Sogyo no Kotowari, except instead of absorbing and then re-firing the opponent's energy, it can just flat out reflect it, kind of like it was a mirror. Which is kind of similar to Nanao's Zanpakuto too. So there's a lot of mirroring going on with these heirloom Zanpakutos. Other than that, he doesn't really exhibit that many powers because he's not actually involved in too many direct conflicts. He just kind of manipulates things from behind the scenes. So I don't know what this character will be like in the game. Maybe he'll just have some generic slashing attacks or some, you know, I'm sure they'll be flashy and all that. But you know, he might reveal more abilities in part 3 of the light novels. I'm sure he's good at Keto as well. So maybe they can do some Keto-based attacks. And his reflecting Zanpakuto could be used for something. I don't know. Maybe it could be a new mechanic altogether where, you know, any ranged attacks that come against him get reflected back automatically to the enemies. There's a lot of possibilities for Tokunada Tsuneyashiro. We only have a few images of what he looks like. We'll have to see what he actually does look like and what his colors are and all that when the game puts him as a playable character, which is very exciting, guys. But this guy, not a very likable villain, not very Aizen-like or Yuwak-like, totally evil. And yeah, like I said before, that's probably based on you know, the fact that Narita and not Kubo himself is writing the novel. So let's move on, guys. The other character that they confirmed will be in the game is the Suniashiro's or Tokunada's protege, or his little his the character that he wants to um, manipulate to become the Soul King, and that's basically the plot of the story, guys. Tokunada Suniyashiro is grooming this child. The child's name is Hikone. I think his first name is Ubuginu. I don't know how to say it, guys, but he's working to install this child as the next Soul King, and there's like a lot of stuff that's I'm not going to discuss in this video about how he's going to do that. But apparently Hikone, he is using well, let's talk about who he is first. Hikone, and this is spoilers. Hikone is not a normal soul or a human or anything like that, or a Quincy or a Hollow. He is created. He is a created being. He's almost like a homunculus, guys. He's an artificially created being, created from the conglomeration of a bunch of different souls, like a lot of souls, Hollow souls, Quincy souls, Shinigami souls, human souls, all put together into one and given life. He's also infused with parts of the old Soul King. So he has some of the old Soul King's body parts, or some of his essence. I'm not sure if they described it correctly in the translation, but that's what I understood from what they did say. And furthermore, guys, and this is a major spoiler here, so he is infused with the Stern Ritter Gremmy's brain as well. So he's like a mixture of everything, guys. And he's kind of like Ichigo in that aspect. Ichigo had Quincy, Soul Reaper, Hollow, and Fullbring involved in him, and so does Hikone. And I think that's why he was created that way, because I think it takes that mixture of traits to become the Soul King, which is kind of something they implied in the light novel itself as well. Because Ichigo, they also implied that he might have become the next Soul King if the plans had gone differently. If the Soul King hadn't been taken over by Yuach, and if they needed to stabilize the world, they would have made Ichigo the Soul King. And I think it's because of his mixed heritage, much like Hikone. But Hikone was not naturally created. So let's get that out of the way right off the bat. He is also very, very powerful, guys. This kid is able to take on, a bunch of opponents at once in the light novel. He takes on several Arrancar, Quincy, and the Fullbringers. He does a lot. He's very powerful. He also wields a Zanpakuto called Ikomikodomo. I can't say it, guys. Ikomikodomo. Sorry. If I mispronounced that, I apologize. But this Zanpakuto is actually not his own. It was stolen from the royal realm, from Oetsu's palace. And it's a very dangerous Zanpakuto, apparently. And from what they described in the light novels, they don't delve into what it actually does, or they haven't done that yet. But it's a very dangerous sword, and it apparently has some hollow abilities. The sword itself is kind of created from hollows or something like that, guys. I don't know. It can open up Garganta. It almost has a will of its own. It can speak to its wielder, and when he does use it in battle, apparently it summons like some very powerful hollow. I don't know exactly what kind of hollow they are, but apparently they're very formidable hollow. It's not like these are not like normal hollows. These are like, I don't know, they're not Vasto Lord level, but they're very powerful. And another unique thing about it is that it has 2 release commands. So maybe they'll explain that in the 3rd volume. One of the release commands, if the translator is correct, is called Encircle the Stars, and the second one is Inscribe the Funeral, which the translator said was not the literal definition, the literal translation of the release command, but there you have it, guys. It can apparently summon hollows. It can bend hollows to their will. And another more interesting aspect of it is that some of the people present when Hikone was doing a battle with the Arancars, Grimjow, Halibel, and Neliel, they mentioned that they sensed Barrigan's presence within that sword as well. So I don't understand what's going on there. Maybe it can absorb the souls of fallen hollows or something. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm just repeating what I said. But there was a reference to Barragan's voice and Barragan's like form being being present in that Zanpakuto. So maybe Baragon, it does still exist, even though doesn't have physical form anymore. Maybe his soul is part of the Zanpakuto somehow. I don't know, guys. So that'll have to be explained. Maybe there's some theories out there I haven't really read up on it, but that's very interesting. All right, so those are the two book characters that are confirmed for the game, and like I said, I assume they'll be released during the global anniversary for Step Ups, but it may be later than that, guys. I mean, the light novel Volume 3 comes out in December, so that's going to be a pretty quick time frame if they want to include that material into these characters. But who knows? K-Lab might already have the advanced copy of the light novels. I'm assuming they do if they're finished. So they might already know all the information that happens in Volume 3. Now, the second half of the novel that is teased in this trailer that's probably playing on the screen behind me is that they'll be doing remade forms of the Espadas, guys. And this was also at the Tokyo Game Show. I did a video on it like right when I heard about it. And if you look at the image, it shows 7 Espada. And the Espadas shown in the image at the Tokyo Game Show are Stark, Halibel, Noitora, Grimjow, Nell, Xylopero, and Yami. So I'm thinking it's safe to assume that all of those characters will be getting a new version with a new form. It's going to be pretty exciting, guys. These are going to be original forms, original creations. I'm assuming it will be similar to what they did with 3rd Anniversary Okiura. I don't think they'll have the Hogyoku in their chest or anything like that, but they may have a different look to what they are. I don't know if it's going to make sense, though, because right now in the light novels, the only Arrancar that are confirmed to still be alive are Grimjow, Nell, and Halibel. Stark, Noitora, Xylopero, and Yami, they're not anywhere in the light novels yet, although like I said, there's still one more light novel to come, and maybe they will be present in that. But I think it's safe to say that because they were on the Tokyo Game Show image, that they will be getting original, unique forms in 2019. So that's very exciting as well, guys. I'm very excited to see like the 3rd Anniversary Okiura treatment given to these other Espadas, especially Neliel. Neliel is one of my favorites. Stark too, I'm very excited. Noitora, I hope they do him, like make him look cool. I'm sure they will. Yami, I mean, I guess he's there, but whatever, guys. Now, the last interesting thing I want to talk about, guys. I know this video has already ran on for a very long time. Is the fact that there's only 2 confirmed novel characters, right? Tsuneyashiro Tokunada and Hikone. So those, and as we know, guys, a banner usually consists of 3 characters. So does that mean they're holding back the 3rd character and they haven't announced them yet, or is it just going to be only 2 characters and extra fillers? I'm thinking that there is a 3rd character that's going to be announced when this banner drops, and there's another significant book villain that they didn't talk about too much. Her name is Aura Michibane, and she is a Fullbringer, but she's a Fullbringer to an extreme level. Like I'm trying to say that she's an extremely powerful Fullbringer, and she's unique in the fact that she doesn't have an attachment to any particular object like most Fullbringers do. Like for example, Ginjo has that attachment to that pendant he wears. Tsukishima has an attachment to his bookmark, and so forth and so forth. They all have an attachment to a particular item that enables them to bring out their Fullbring. But Aura can apparently, bring out the power from anything that's around her. So, the air, even the air itself, she can bring out the souls of the, the atmosphere and use it to, attack and defend and things like that. And she can even turn her own body into like an incorporeal form, like a mist. So she actually does battle with Kisuke, and maybe I'll make a separate video talking about what happens in these novels. But she does do battle with Kisuke, and she does pretty good. So anyway, guys, she might be another candidate for the 3rd character in that banner. Of course, it's definitely possible they might make the 3rd character in that banner. If there is a 3rd character, somebody else. Shinji is going to release his Bankai. Maybe he would be the 3rd character. I doubt it because he doesn't have as much screen time in the light novels, at least as of now. Maybe in the 3rd volume he'll have a lot of screen time. But Hisagi is another possibility because Hisage Shuhei has a lot of screen time in this light novel series. So it would make sense that since he is one of the main characters in the Can't Fear Your Own World trilogy, you know, you go with Shuhei, and then you go with Tsuneyashiro, and you go with Hikone, and that's basically the three main people you have to cover if you're gonna make characters based on these books. Or you can also do Aura. Like I said, Aura would be a very interesting character, but I think you do have to have one that everybody already knows to kind of balance it out with the new characters. So that's my prediction for the banner, guys. And then after that, I'm sure they'll do another couple of banners featuring the Espada remade forms, which is going to be very exciting. I can't wait to see what they do. I'm really glad that, you know, K-Lab is getting permission to make these original forms, because every time they do one, it looks amazing. I mean, it's not canon. It may not be canon. I don't know if they're going to be described in the third volume. I mean, I doubt it. But nevertheless, they always do a good job. Like, look at the 3rd anniversary Okiura. Look at the Lunar Ichigo. Both those characters look fantastic. And I'm sure that the remade Stark, Halibel, Noitora, Grimjow, Nell, Zalaporo, and Yami will look great as well. That's all I have for this video, guys. I just wanted to talk about my I just wanted to talk about my feelings on the light novel coming out for Bleach Brave Souls. It's very exciting. It's setting a new precedent. You know, I don't think this has ever been done before, where a Japanese light novel has gotten a translation in a video game first before it actually had a physical book translation into English. So that's kind of like new territory for this type of thing, guys. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it is considered canon by a lot of people in the community. I'm sure there's people that don't consider it canon. And personally, myself, I'm on the fence as to whether or not I consider it canon, whether I consider it to be like officially part of the main story, because, you know, usually the way I look at canon is if it doesn't occur in the 74 volumes of the actual manga, Bleach manga, then it's not canon. Because, I don't know, that's usually my thinking. But, you know, if Kubo himself is saying that this stuff is accurate, then I can't really argue with that. So that's for people, that's for you guys to decide on your own. But either way, it's pretty hype. I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. It should be out, I don't know when this is only speculation, guys, but I'm assuming it's going to be out beginning of 2019. So it might be out later than that, but it will definitely be coming out at some point in 2019. And that's all I can say for now. But when we find out more information, I'll announce it on this channel as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking with me through the whole video. Hope you're hyped for the new book characters. It's still a little bit away, but it's never too early to get hyped, man. All right? Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.